So for this sandwich, you're gonna need your bread, tomato, lettuce, mayo, and I like to use the VEGAN brand just because I feel like it tastes a little bit better and it's creamier, but you can also use the Just Mayo brand, which honestly is a lot cheaper and you get a lot more for it and tastes pretty good anyways. But honestly, I just prefer VEGAN, but it doesn't really matter which one you use. They're both vegan and they're both plant-based. Next, we have our vegan bacon, and I actually have been seeing this in grocery stores for a really long time and just haven't ever really thought to buy it, but I finally did today. I was at Food Lion and I figured I might as well try it because I have been craving BLTs. So this will actually be the first time that I've ever tried this brand. It was only like $3, which I think is really cheap for like veggie meat, and it came with 14 slices, so I think that's a really good deal. But yeah, I'll go ahead and see how it tastes. Next, we have mustard. This is honestly optional. I prefer spicy mustard on all my sandwiches because I just think that it gives it an extra kick. I'm also adding avocado on my sandwich because I think that sandwiches are 10 times better with avocado, but again, this is optional. So I actually already went ahead and cooked my bacon. All you have to do is fry it on a frying pan over the stove in some oil for like literally 3 or 4 minutes. I like my bacon a little bit crispier, so I did mine for about 4 or 5 minutes, but that's up to you guys. This is what it looks like in the package, just to give you guys an idea of what it looks like ahead of time. So you can see that mine is a little bit darker brown, is definitely way more firm, but yeah, that's what it looks like. I also have my bread. A lot of people like their bread toasted for their sandwiches. I honestly prefer my bread untoasted, especially for a cold sandwich, but it's up to you. If you do want a toasted sandwich, literally just put in the toaster and then start making yours. It really doesn't matter. Now I'm just gonna grab 1 slice of that bread and go ahead and spread mayo. I love mayo, so I'm putting a fairly generous amount on mine, but if you don't like mayo, obviously you can choose to avoid that and put whatever condiments you want on it, but typically BLTs have mayo on them, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put that on my first slice. Now I'm just gonna take the lettuce that I showed you before, just grab a head and then start peeling leaves off and just layering them onto your sandwich. You can put as much as you want, honestly, it doesn't matter, but I am just putting a couple leaves on there before I add the rest of my ingredients. Next, I just grabbed one of the tomatoes that I showed you earlier and I'm slicing it up just in regular thin slices and adding them to my sandwich. I honestly, if I'm using a really big like heirloom tomato, I'll just do 1 really big slice, but with a tomato this small, I just do a couple thin slices and then put as many as I can fit on the sandwich. Now I'm just taking that avocado and cutting it in half, and then I'm going to cut each half into quarters and just try to fit it onto my sandwich into little slices. You can mash it if you want to, a lot of people do that, but I like the slices just because I like being able to chew on the pieces of avocado when I'm biting into my sandwich. Avocados can be really expensive sometimes, especially if you get organic ones or if you shop at higher end health stores like Whole Foods. Sometimes Harris Teeter can have them and they're really expensive. I typically get my avocados from either Aldi or Walmart, which I try to avoid Walmart because sometimes they're not as good, but honestly Aldi and Earth Fare are my 2 go-to for good avocados, and they're honestly not that expensive. Now that I have gotten all of my avocado onto my sandwich, the entire thing, which I am very happy about, I am just layering the bacon on top of the sandwich, and hopefully you are able to get all of your pieces on your sandwich. Honestly, it was pretty hard for me, but I was able to, and now I am just putting the mustard onto my sandwich to give it that extra kick, like I said. Lastly, I actually didn't show this in the ingredients in the beginning of the video, but I also like to just add a little bit of black pepper on top of all my sandwiches just to give it a little bit more flavor, but again, you don't have to, it's up to you. Sandwiches, of course, any food, it's gonna be your personal preference. Now I'm just grabbing an actual plate and putting the sandwich on it, And I am putting that last slice right on top of the sandwich. And I actually like to kind of smush the sandwich down just so that it makes it less likely for things to fall out while I'm biting into them. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and cut my sandwich into halves and enjoy. So this is the final product. It actually ended up tasting so good, like I'm not even exaggerating. That was actually the first time that I'd ever made that sandwich, but it was so good. It tasted basically exactly like a real BLT, and to me the bacon tasted pretty legitimate. It tasted really close to the real thing. The texture was a bit off, but for me it didn't bother me at all. It tasted so good. Definitely a sandwich that I would make again, and it only took me 5 minutes to make with really simple ingredients that were super cheap. And you can also get them basically at any grocery store. I know you can find them at Harris Teeter, Walmart. I personally got all of these ingredients from Food Lion. So if you guys decide to try out this sandwich, I hope you enjoy making it as much as I did. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. And feel free to leave me a comment down below with maybe more ideas for videos or any other comments or suggestions that you had. So thank you, and I will see you again next time.